I am Neil Larthos. I am the next Abdullah. You are the next Neville Goddard. Your SP gets wet every single time they think of you. And your bank account makes Jeff Bezos look homeless. Remaining in the state versus acting the same, okay? Or in other words, what are the differences between you acting as if, living in your end, or just going on about your life with the same flaws, the same characteristics, and just letting your manifestation of your physical appearance or your SP all happen naturally, okay? This is where the topic of inspired action comes up and stuff like that, right? So without further ado, let's begin. So this is a series where I put two different approaches, popular approaches in manifesting, and which ones do I feel work better, and what are the benefits of both. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Whatever approach you do in manifesting, you will still get results, okay? Now, there are some that are better than others. There are some that I would even go as far as to say are quicker than others. But still, when you hear a manifestation coach say that thou shalt not do this and thou shalt not do that, okay, yeah, I know we all say that we're all God, okay? But he only made the 10 Commandments once. And then after that, he made the New Testament. Well, guess what? We are the New Testament, okay? But don't make me go on another Avengers Endgame length worthy of tangents over here, okay? If you remain in this state, okay, first of all, what the hell does that mean, okay? I think it's one of those things where everybody has their own definition, their own belief of what it is. Some say that living in the end, acting as if, just simply means that you know that you already have it. When you pray to your Father, know that it has already been given to you, right? Well, I think that it's definitely you being aware, and whenever you see things in the 3D that are opposite of your manifestation, you still tell yourself that it is coming, you still tell yourself that you are in the end, for sure. But the reason why I think that it is better to try your best to act as if, and I know it's kind of controversial because I know it sounds borderline like fake it till you make it and putting on some sort of a mask or whatever. But I think both work. But when you put on the mask of this new character that you are being, okay, for example, if you're trying to manifest the hot girl at the dentist's office, okay, right now in the 3D, she's not giving you any fucking choosing signals whatsoever, okay? But you see her bend over to hand you your slip, and you know, you see something else slip, right? Well, in your 3D, she could give a fucking shit about your existence. But when you keep going in your imaginal act, and then you impress the subconscious, that imaginal act where you guys were making out and she was saying, "Oh, please fuck me," that is a whole different character, right? What does it take for you to get to that character where you guys are fucking and she is madly sexually obsessed with you, right? Well, like I've always said, whenever you ask your consciousness, right, you ask your imagination, which I think is the same thing as asking your higher power. When you ask yourself, what would the version of myself who has SP but still looks the same, who still talks the same, who still walks the same, what would that person's life be like? Okay? That's if you don't want to work on yourself and you don't want to, you know, improve anything physically or whatever, which in my opinion, I think is the best and the most easiest way. But when you start telling yourself, yeah, but the only way I'm going to get a 10 out of 10 is if I start lifting weights, well, then you start putting limits on yourself. Right. And I know I'm going all over the place, but I mean, I'm trying to keep this fucking video as far away from a fucking infinity war as possible. So we're at 5 minutes here. So, but, and I have another video where I say that acting as if is basically theater, right? But that talks a little bit more about this. But, and I think I need to make more videos about this. However, when you ask your consciousness, what would the version of me be like who has SP, but everything else physically is the same? You will still notice that if you keep asking yourself that question, yes, even in the moment, even when you go to the dentist's office next week, right? And you see her, okay? And you're like, fuck, dude, here we go again. I'm going to get so nervous whenever I'm around her, whenever I, Neo, Mr. Martinez is ready to see you. And then you're just like, oh, fuck, I better look cool. I better fix my posture, right? Instead of trying to force it, just simply have a code word, okay? Or even a fucking alter ego name of this person. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna let you know right now, Neil Larthos is not my fucking real name, okay? And you guys, maybe some of you guys, maybe a 1% negative 0.5% know what my real name is. That is my alter ego. And Neil Larthos is what I embody whenever I am the best version of myself. Not to say that I have anything wrong with who I really am, but we all can take the shape. We're all shapeshifters. We can all take the shape of whatever, because we are everything. And if we are everything, okay, we can act as if we are that person who is living in the end, who has the SP, who has the money, whatever it is you're trying to desire. When you walk up to the hot girl at the dentist's office and she's not giving you the light of day, okay? The best time to do these things, whether it's affirmations or visualizations, is in the moment when you're feeling that doubt, when you're like, fuck, this shit's not working. No, but it's working up here. You can either A, ask, what would it be like? Don't say, what would Jesus do? Don't say, what would he do? Right? Because then you start getting into this mode of trying to, okay, well, he would probably be walking more with a better posture. He'd probably try to go talk to her. And then you start gaslighting yourself into forcing shit. Inspired action is not about figuring out ways to inspire yourself to act. It happens naturally. You see, the way it works, and even the Bible talks about this, is when you change your consciousness, you get a new set of desires, a new set of thoughts. Really, how it goes is when you change your consciousness, when you change your identity, you get a new set of thoughts. It's just like it's almost the same thing as changing moods, okay? You can wake up, the sun is shining, you just got paid, you know what I'm saying? You're next to your lovely, well, actually, most of you guys are looking for SPs, but everything is going great, right? But then you go to work and your boss treats you like shit, and all of a sudden you go from thinking that you are the man and having all these thoughts of confidence to, oh, my life sucks. Maybe I need to get another job. Why does everybody fucking hate me, right? Notice how your thoughts went from positive to negative, right? Well, it's the same thing when you change your consciousness. You will go from, oh my gosh, the receptionist at the dentist's office cannot, she's never looking at me. She's probably in love with the other guy behind me who's more jacked. No, when you change your identity as the one who gets all the SPs, you will start having thoughts. Not thoughts of what you see in the 3D. You will walk past her maybe 5 more times and the receptionist will not give you the light of day. But when you identify with the character that you're seeing in your imagination, okay, all you got to do is ask, what would they be thinking when she is going, hee, when she's texting you all the damn time, when you guys see each other next at the dentist's office right after you guys bang 5 days in a row, right? You might even start thinking like, oh man, things are going to be kind of awkward. Oh shit, now I better hope that she doesn't think I'm flirting with this other girl next to me. What if she's toxic? You see, you go from being so fucked up in your head that she's not looking at you in the 3D to now having a imaginary inner conversation about how you're supposed to explain to her of why Felicia sitting next to you was actually not flirting with you. She was just asking where the hell are the magazines. You see, I just thought of a fucking imaginary scenario. And I'm not even trying to fuck my dentist receptionist. Okay? I don't even know why I keep fucking using that example, right? I haven't been to the dentist in fucking forever. But the point is, guys, is I think I could have just made this fucking simpler. Acting as if is better, and it's more fun. However, if you're lazy, if you want to see that, well, I'm just going to sit here and, not do anything and wait by the phone and just, like, look, I'm going to say this. If you know there are things that you can do to improve how you feel about yourself, to improve your self-concept, to even improve your game with women, right? I mean, yeah, if you are texting nonstop and you're being overly clingy, and a manifestation coach says, look, all you got to do is just do an imaginal act, but continue doing what you would naturally do. But if what you would naturally do beforehand is constantly being clingy with girls, and you think that that's going to work out, it probably won't. And there's probably a part of you that knows that. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm sure that there are some people who can manifest while being clingy, but look, I'm telling you right now, most girls do not like clingy guys. Okay. And I'm telling you another thing too. You could continue being clingy, but eventually if that imaginal act is going to come, there's probably going to be something that's going to change in you either ways to stop being clingy. So for any of you guys who know that there are things you can improve on, and I'm not necessarily even talking about physically, because I think that is, in my honest opinion, a completely different story, because I'm not talking so much about things of the vessel. I'm talking about things of the spirit. Even being clingy is things of the spirit, because it's involved with your desires. Your desires are highly, highly connected to your soul. That's why people talk about, oh my gosh, she is the light of my soul. She is my everything. Oh my gosh, right? Your desires are highly connected to that higher self version of yourself. And if your desire is to be a fucking little pussy and put this person on the pedestal, you gotta fucking shift your desires. Remember what I said, you get new desires when you go to that imaginary character. Okay, so whenever you see your SP at the dentist receptionist office, or the fucking gym, or in your class, or at work, or on social media, she keeps posting shit with 3P. Okay, you're on social media. Ask yourself, what would it be like if you were the guy getting all the fucking DMs? Don't just look at a visual of all the DMs going in and like, oh shit, but what if she changed her profile pic? I mean, this is probably going to be 6 months. Don't go into so much detail. Just try to get the mindset of that person. If you want to do imaginal acts, you can still do that. But I'm telling you that it's going to get to the point where you realize that you have to also embody this identity, because eventually the 3D is going to take you off. It's going to take you off the saddle, and you're going to think, okay, well, this shit's not fucking working. If you're one of those people who doesn't have the faith, and after you do the imaginal act, you can just go on with your life and expect it to come, then good for you. But, and I love Joseph Eli, right? But he has said this before, that you can just let it go. And he's not the only one, but I mean, he's one of the ones that I love so much that he says this. And I agree, you can let go right after you do an imaginal act, right after you do a very powerful affirmation. But most of you guys are, especially the ones watching this video, are still probably very new to manifesting. It will benefit you if you keep going back to that identity. I'm not saying, remember, I'm not saying that if you see the hot girl at the gym and she's not looking at you, then you say, oh, well, what can I do to make her look at me? No. I'm saying that she could have already fucking left. She could have been sitting right next to you and been like, ew. And if you still want her after that, go in your imagination and just ask, what would it be like if every single time I walk in the gym, she's like, hey, sexy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. That'd be kind of crazy if she goes from ew to hey, sexy. But dude, I have seen crazy fucking shit and crazy fucking shifts. Even that is possible. I had a girl who I worked with, I say this story all the fucking time, who didn't give me the light of day. She made it obvious that she had an issue with me because of the fact that I, messed around with her friend. And next thing you know, I just start saying these crazy ass fucking affirmations that she carries 5 pairs of panties to work every single day because she can't stop masturbating thinking of me. And within weeks, she starts blocking me on Instagram, even though we don't follow each other. And she starts making random ass fucking excuses to start conversations with me, even when I'm not talking to her. Basically treating me like all the other girls would treat me when they started to flirt with me. Now, I wasn't interested in pursuing anything with her later on. We ended up hooking up a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. But the simple fact, because I didn't want anything serious with her, right? I actually was just trying to see if it will work. Now, obviously, it got to the point where she was chasing me, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm left with no other choice. Okay, this shit just fucking fell in my lap, right? You know, just like in, you know, Big Daddy, where he had to adopt a kid. It's just right there at his front door. It's like, what? Sue me, okay? Call HR, right? But it got to the point where I realized that no matter what your fucking circumstances are, okay? Think about this. You have gone days where everything is going great and people are giving you compliments about your work. I see this all the time at my job, right? Where people are saying, oh my gosh, Neil, you're so good at your work. You're doing such a great job. And then, you know, the next day it's like you make one mistake and it's like, what is wrong with you? You're always fucking up. You know, why do we always have to tell you what to do, Neil? It's like yesterday you were just telling me that I'm the best of all time, but then tomorrow, the next day, you're saying, why are you always fucking up? How can those two realities exist? Because they do. In my Father's house, there is many rooms. Okay? So if you can have crazy shifts where one day you're the best and all of a sudden, you know, I mean, we've seen this in relationships. How many times do our girls tell us, oh my gosh, I love you, you're so understanding, and then the next day you're like, you never get it, you don't get it. How can I understand and then not get it the next, right? Because those two realities exist. So if it can work for the negative stuff, then homegirl at the gym can go ill one day and then all of a sudden, hey, sexy. Trust me, women are crazy. But either ways, and you know, men too. But either ways, this has already turned out to be another fucking movie. I am Neil Larthos. This is all that the I'm Awareness had to say, and I know you're going to be okay.